Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today Mañana. I'm Alex. This is Xavier. We're very excited to have you joining us this morning on a morning that's a perfect little morning to get your café con leche, sit down, watch some Today Mañana. We're really thrilled to be here on the I Love CVille Network set. We're powered, as always, by Vitae Spirits, by Aqua hand car wash, by our friends at GBS Financial Services, Johan Torres. He's busy now, I can imagine.
Tax season, very busy. Very busy.
So that's who you want to talk to.
Hiding in the bunker, just doing taxes.
I know, probably. Of course, with Castle Hill Cider, always a good time. Getting close to that spring where you really want to go. I mean, they're already beautiful to visit them any time of the year, but in the spring, just the views.
All those places, they're gorgeous in spring.
Exactly, of course. And by our friends, Miguel at Sirius Craddock Insurance. And, of course, this week, welcoming the Jim CVille.
Oh, that's right.
To our family of partners here at
Welcome.
At Today Mañana. So we're really excited to have them joining us. It's definitely, when we talked to them when they came on the show, it's definitely the place to go when you want, I think, a new way of really achieving your fitness goals.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the way he just talks to people and communicates, it's you don't even feel like you're working out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's true. Very true. And of course, we are always presented by Emergent Financial Services. So that's today's going to be a great show.
No, it really is.
Some fun.
Looking forward to it.
We have some fun guests in store for you. We're going to be joined by both Carey Estes. She's the owner of Carey Marie Designs, and later in the show by Krissy Muniz, who is the owner of Good Times Only VA, Good Times Only Virginia, I'm guessing. But we'll ask for that, of course. And I know that's when we'll have our little surprise for Xavier, which I know
I'm looking forward to that.
Very excited about.
I'm very excited.
This is why Jerry's here.
This is why Jerry's here this morning. He's like, I am not missing this. I don't know what they're going to do to him, but this is going to be worth it. I don't know, we got some people watching the show this morning. Just want to thank Miguel Proedin watching the show.
Miguel.
Lucrecia liking the show. Thank you, Lucrecia Morales, for watching today. Elizabeth Miller watching today from Virginia. So thank you, Elizabeth, for watching this morning. So, I mean, I say we just get right to it. I mean, when you're this excited for two guests, you're like, okay, let's just jump right in this morning. So, first off, we're going to welcome to the show Carey Estes, the owner of Carey Marie Designs. Carey, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Welcome, Carey.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, I mean, for those who don't know you, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself. I had a chance to go and look it up when they sent me the information and seeing it, but for those who don't know you, tell us about Carey Marie Designs.
So I have an online shop on Etsy, but a little background on myself. I've actually been sewing since I was 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Is when I started. My aunt and my grandmother were both big sewers and creators, and it's honestly just an easy thing for me, and I quickly picked up and decided, if I'm a firm believer everybody has gifts and talents.
Exactly.
And it's a matter if you want to keep them to yourself or if you want to share it with others. And I decided to share it with others and start up Carey Marie Designs. My shop is on Etsy, which has been an excellent forum for anyone that is interested in having their own business online. Etsy takes care of a lot of the things that you don't have to worry about otherwise.
Yep.
I did go the path initially and created my own website and did all of that, but when you're doing this as kind of a side thing, it's very difficult to keep your website updated. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. I used to always say, I need an associate, I need an assistant, I need somebody to help me. So Etsy has been a great forum to do so.
So in essence, basically what we're saying is when you, and it's probably the way to do it, right? So I assume a lot of people go on Etsy when they're shopping,
Absolutely.
For
anything.
creative,
anything
yeah.
Really.
And
it's
so,
really anything.
And so when they go to your spot, Etsy itself kind of creates the environment of your
Correct.
shop?
They take care of all the technical side
Okay.
of things. They even have it where you can purchase shipping labels through them
Wow.
at a discounted rate. So I learned that after the 2020 when COVID hit, and
Sure.
I was sewing face masks like crazy. And then I realized, I could do my shipping just through Etsy. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. I have my own label maker at home, connected to my laptop. Everything prints off. You can print out a packing receipt. You have your own shipping materials, and it's pretty easy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
That's just amazing.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it certainly makes starting your own business when you're creative, because that's the issue. You're a creative
creative,
mind,
especially if
right?
it's a product.
And exactly, creative mind, and you love to create things, and then you say, I want to share this with people, but the idea of starting, how do
It's
how
like,
do
where
I
do I
sell
start?
this? Exactly, where to start.
Yeah.
So basically, you go onto Etsy and you create
Log
an
in,
account.
create an account. It literally walks you through step by step. You do have to take your own photos, obviously, of your products.
Okay.
You can kind of figure out what works best for you to edit them, to upload them. And then really it's up to you to manage. You can get notifications when anybody looks at your site. It actually will track the financial for you. So it will give you like how many times this product was looked at, how many people have it in their cart. You're obviously
Wow.
notified when you get
amazing.
a sale. And then the purchaser, the person that bought it, is notified when your item ships, and then also notified when it's delivered as well. So
So you know it's been delivered. So
you know it's been
Exactly.
delivered.
Exactly.
Yep. I typically use the post office unless someone has a request. Carrie, is there any way you can get this to me in 2 days? So just depending on where they live.
Gotcha.
I have shipped all over the country, and during COVID, I actually sent overseas as well for UVA face masks. So we got to support our who's overseas, right?
No matter where they are.
That's right. No matter where they are, we got to support them. So yes, Etsy's been great. I highly recommend it for anybody that is maybe on the edge of, should I start this? Shouldn't I? I would highly recommend Etsy.
That's
Terrific.
awesome.
Terrific.
So what led you, I'm curious, what led you to start, like to transform this passion that you had and this talent that you had into a small business?
I had started prior to Carey Marie Designs, really just dabbling in it. I really feel like if you're a creative thinker and a creative person that wants to do something, it's torture to not do anything. So I'm kind of constantly like, oh, let's knock out a wall, let's paint this, let's do this to a home. I'm kind of the same way with creativity. I'm one that walks through a boutique and I'm like, I could make that. So I'm one of those, instead of purchasing, I know I could make it. So I've always been that way. So it's a good outlet if you really have that creative way of thinking. Etsy really does house, though, pretty much anything, even digital fonts or SVGs or anything you wanted to just do an instant download. They have, to leather goods, to everything. My products that I sell typically are items that I sew, as well as items that I've done on a Cricut, which is permanent vinyl or heat transfer vinyl onto things.
Whoa.
Obviously, the face masks were a huge thing. And I do primarily target for UVA.
Makes sense.
I live in Louisa, but UVA is kind of at my heart. So I have a lot of UVA fabric in my home. And I'm just constantly thinking of new ways to create new things.
That's
Now,
awesome.
you said you were 11 years old when
Yeah.
you picked this up, and is that because, your grandmother and your mother were also sewing, so you just emulated them, or did you
My
literally
aunt
like
and
it?
my grandmother always sewed. They would, they were one of those that would make new drapes or curtains for different seasons of the year. And they would make a couch cover, and they would make
Wow.
a dress.
Nice.
You don't
That's-
hear of that
that's
very
very
much
No,
anymore.
that's true.
It's
Hear about
very
that too
rare
much.
nowadays. They got me my first sewing machine when I was 11, and I still remember my first item was a dog coat for my dog. It was green corduroy and sewing the buttons and everything, but back when you would get a pattern at Piece Goods and cut it out.
pattern, there you are.
Yeah. So things have changed, but yeah, and it was just easy for me. And I feel like if it's that easy for you, it's because that's how you're
It's how-
wired,
yeah,
and just go with
exactly,
it.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone's different. Yeah.
Yeah, because my mother's like that, right? And my wife's like that. That's on the creative side. My mother is
On the sewing one.
on the sewing side. She worked obviously in for Ellen Tracy back when, and did a lot of opera costumes for the opera. But she's just creative in the sense that it didn't matter what you put in front of her; she could just sew it together, and it was just amazing. And some people just have that talent, right? And they're not afraid. I mean, I know that there are some people, you give them a needle and a thread, and they get all sweaty. They don't know what to do, and they get pinched, and it's like, that's not for me.
Right. Well, I definitely have family members that come to me and ask, can you sew this, fix this for me? So
That's right.
they kind of have free services with me.
There we go. Oh, a little shout out. We got some people watching the show today. We got Ray Durkin watching the show, Bill McChesney, Garrett Peppelman, David J. Hastings. Thanks for watching today. So, I'm curious, what are some of the things that people can find on your shop? 'Cause I know you mentioned, obviously, face mask was a big one in 2020, 2021, but I'm curious, what are some of the other things people can find there?
I know with a lot of Etsy shops, they usually have a specialty. So if you need, an iron-on shirt, you go to this shop, or if you need a leather good cut, you go to this shop. I'll be honest, my shop varies season to season. It really is what I'm in the mood to make and create. I went through a period of making personalized pillows, and then I went through a period of making mason jars, and I would make them into a tissue holder. And then I had key fobs that were keychains, just depending on what I wanted to create. My fabric baskets are probably the biggest seller. I do a lot of UVA and other colleges. Depending on what fabric I have, I make, it's a great gift. And so I sew a lot of those. And obviously face mask, I got a few orders in last night for more UVA face mask. And I do absolutely love my repeat customers have been just amazing. I had someone contact me last night and let me know that her mom lost her UVA face mask, and she was devastated and wanted to know if I could make her another one, which was very sweet. So I love and feel very honored that people know anything UVA creative, they will contact me. So it's been a great thing.
That just shows you, that's the beauty, I think, of the growth of an entrepreneur, because you start to have those customers that I really love what you do. I want to be a repeat customer. I want, you just, that, and they're the ones who will refer you and help you grow.
Absolutely. I do have customers or strangers that will reach out and say, hey, is there any way you could make this? So sometimes my customers actually give me the idea and suggestions on a path to go. And so that's great for me because I'll try something new. Right now I'm working on earrings. So I'm hoping within the next month or so, I'll have some UVA earrings to list on my site. So again, I feel like there's no limit to what you could create.
That's fantastic.
So you do more than just sew, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't imagine how you sew an earrings. I'm thinking, how does that work?
The Cricut machine has been an amazing
Cricut
invention.
machine, okay.
It will cut just about anything, but you can give me a can of spray paint or anything else. I can definitely create something.
So do you have a room in your home that's just, this is Carey's room,
Believe
don't
it
go
or
in there?
not, and this is why I'm like, there should be no excuse for anyone to create. I actually live in an apartment.
Okay.
So my bedroom has become my sewing room, workspace for my full-time job, my bedroom. I have fabric very nicely organized, but I kind of have my system and ways of doing everything. I have all my shipping materials grouped. I definitely have my system set up and it works.
Wow.
So even if you're in a small space, you definitely can create and do something for yourself.
I love that. I love the inspiration of that, because I think it's true. I think a lot of people are daunted when they want to become an entrepreneur by, I must need so many things. I must have to get a business location, and how do I afford the rent for that?
Yes,
I need this machinery and all these things, and I need to pay for a website. I need to pay for someone to create the website.
To do the QuickBooks.
But there are so many opportunities now.
There really are. And a lot of reasons people do not pursue is they don't have time. I would say time is a huge factor with so many people. How can I start? They don't have time. I'm a single mom of 3 boys. So I am nonstop on the go. I've got sporting events. I'm always running around. But if it's really a passion and desire, you make the time. Yeah. So there's been many late nights. I sew a lot, create a lot after they've gone to bed, even when they were much younger. So, yeah, you can make it happen. You just kind of have to refocus your priorities.
And I guess you have to focus as to what you want to accomplish that particular month or week or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. And then you say, boom, this is what I'm doing this week, and you get it done.
Absolutely. Being planned and organized, but I'll be honest, I have made so many mistakes. I have cried a lot at my sewing machine. Sometimes I feel like I sound like a sailor when I'm at my sewing machine some nights. But the reality is you go through that and you make your mistakes and you're like, okay, now I know not to do that next time.
Yeah.
And let me rechange, or let me have a moment and think what's a better way to create this. So making your mistakes is all part of the growing process in it.
Yeah, part of life, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it
you know,
is.
we get up, we stumble, we fall, and we realize, okay, next time, maybe I
Next
won't
time.
stumble.
Let
Makes
me
you a better
change it.
entrepreneur.
Absolutely, always,
Makes you,
yeah.
then you'll be even better at what you do the next time.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And we hear that from so many entrepreneurs, right?
do.
I mean, in
I'm
other words-
thinking of Jeff.
Yeah,
when he
exactly.
came on a couple
You
weeks
learn
ago.
you learn from your mistakes, and you just never do them again, and that makes you a better business person and more creative in the long run.
It's part of the growth and learning process. Yeah, absolutely. I've had many of those moments. So now in my creative process of doing earrings, I've already gone through several nights of, okay, this does not work. I am a stickler on providing high quality with anything I make. So anything with my name on it, it needs to satisfy me, and I'm pretty picky. So if I don't like the product, I know my customer won't like it. And the one thing you don't want is a customer to come back and say, Carey, this fell apart, or
Right.
this isn't what I wanted, I'm really disappointed in the quality. So if I'm not happy, so I do many runs on a product to make sure it's exactly the way I want it.
Now, do you follow the seasons? I mean, in other words, when Thanksgiving comes, do you like produce Thanksgiving things, Christmas, Easter, things of that sort?
Yeah, that's a great question. I used to initially, but I found Christmas is always my extremely busy time of year. Making Christmas ornaments. Typically, I will make new Christmas ornaments for every year.
Okay.
So I might have 5 to 10 new designs. A lot of times it is focused to UVA. But lately it's been focused towards COVID and kind of funny sayings and things referring to COVID. So Christmas would probably be my one season that I focus in on. The other one's not so much, because I feel like a gift can be given year-round.
True.
So you don't need to focus on the season. The ornaments would be the only seasonal thing I switch around every year.
And when do you start doing your Christmas? In July? I always hear, Christmas
I do
in
start
July.
Christmas in July.
Do you really? Do you?
I really do. Because especially now with COVID, products and supplies,
That's true.
I have had issues over the past couple years where I could not get the items I needed to make things in stock, or they were delayed. And so definitely have started early now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs facing with
Yeah.
just the supply chain. Is one of the things we don't talk about. You have to adjust.
Absolutely.
As a small, because there's no, when you're a small business owner, there's no calling your boss saying, "Hey, where's these supplies that I need?"
That's right.
You are the boss. And it's, "Hey, if I need to get them early or find this new supplier, I need to do what I need to do to
Yeah.
produce."
Instead of thinking 2 or 3 months ahead, you got to think 6 months
6
ahead.
months
right?
ahead.
Absolutely. And I do love supporting other Etsy shops. So for supplies, for example, I've been purchasing faux leather and different earring supplies. I love going to other small business owners in Etsy, purchasing from them. It really is kind of a give and take. So if I'm helping them, they're helping me. It kind of goes together. So I love supporting other local Etsy owners.
That's fantastic. No, I love that camaraderie, and I love that I'm seeing it more and more. I can't tell you how many times lately on Instagram I'll see like small creative business owners, and like 5 or 6 of them will get together and do like a giveaway where they're all tagging each other's
Yes.
products, sort of build that
Yeah.
momentum. And it's 5 or 6 of them coming together and say, "I'll pitch in this one item." And before you know it, you have a gift basket. That
Yeah.
the giveaway is because you've tagged and connected, and
Oh,
before
wow.
you know it, people have found 5 or 6 small businesses in one Instagram picture.
You're all helping each other. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Oh, you got some. We got some more people watching. You got a comment. We have. So Great Urchin says that she makes awesome KISS. I think that's the band face masks.
That's my brother.
Okay.
I love him dearly.
I'm thinking chocolate kisses. I was
It
kisses.
it's all caps KISS. I'm like, I think that's
Gotcha,
the band.
That's my brother, who
Face
I
masks.
love dearly and is one of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders in it. He's a big the band Kiss,
yeah.
supporter. I have made him a Kiss face mask. So
That's fantastic. Family, it's always awesome. I think a lot of our entrepreneurs talk about how just the support of family and friends to say, hey, no, I love what you're doing, I'll support you, is really so powerful.
Sometimes it's the start, right? They help out and they buy your product, and before you know it, it just, they themselves then are the advertising for your products, right?
I even try to do this, like I mentioned, I have 3 boys. They're each very unique and different, but they each have their strengths. So I love to focus in on what their strengths are and encourage them and kind of push them along. That really has helped. It helped me in my starting process. I had family around that supported and complimented me on work I would do. My aunt, who I loved dearly, she would always, inspect and look at my work. And if she told me I did a good job, it was like, okay, I've got something here.
Now you feel really tough.
Because she was a stickler on making sure everything looked right and the quality was good. So, but it's feeling that support around you, it definitely helps. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Always.
It's a major thing. Got some more people watching. We've got Med Bowen watching, Christy Fedgens, Johnny Ornelas, amigo del programa.
Hola.
Watching today. Thanks for watching. Betty Gillette Corbin, Heather Minson, Grant Didwitty. Thanks everyone for watching today. So
Thank you.
So I love the idea that what you said about. I was thinking a little bit about what you said about finding the time, and I think it's one of the powerful things about entrepreneurship is that you can either come into it thinking, oh yeah, now I can do whatever I want, but what really happens is you end up sometimes it's working whenever you need to. It's like if I need to work an evening, or I need to work a Saturday, or I need to work extra, you as the entrepreneur, you put in that extra effort, but then the beauty of it is that you're rewarded because it's your business that grows.
Absolutely. Going into it with a negative attitude, like I'm never going to be able to do this, I'm not going to have time, I can't do what they're doing, instead of I will make time, I could have time, and you really have to reprioritize, kind of switch your way of thinking. If it's something you really want and you know that you get something out of it, I think you find the time. I used to think with 3 kids, I won't be able to do anything besides take care of them. But here, behold, I do have a full-time job, 9 to 5, and this is kind of my side hustle, but I continue to do it because I love creating.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's amazing. Yeah, that's
The
amazing.
passion for what that is amazing.
Absolutely.
You're an inspirational person.
Thank you. I
Absolutely, yeah.
appreciate that.
That
I
you
appreciate
can
that.
do this. Fantastic. So before I let you go, I got to ask, so where can people find you?
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, I did actually used to have my own website. I still own the domain to it, but it's much easier on me. And again, that's another idea. You have to figure out what's easier on you.
Sure.
It was easier on me to go with Etsy. So I am on the Etsy shop under Carey Marie Designs, and it's Carey Marie Designs plural, and I'm also on Facebook as well under the same name.
Oh, okay.
And we'll tag you. I'm sure Nick my brother has probably already tagged you there.
Yep.
But you can find Carey Marie Designs on Facebook, Carey Marie Designs Etsy shop.
Yes, correct, on Etsy as well, and Instagram. I'm also on Instagram as well. Sorry about
That's
that.
right. Pictures.
Yeah,
exactly.
Instagram. Normally, if I
one.
post something on Instagram, I'll automatically connect it with my Facebook as well. So
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
So be sure to go check it out. There's a lot of beautiful. I took some looks, and there's a lot of beautiful things on there. The little.
Thank you, I appreciate
especially
that.
if you were a UVA fan.
hey, my Wahoos. Yeah,
Wahoo.
The place to
I got
go.
to take care of the Wahoos. That's
Exactly.
right. That's
exactly.
right.
So when you need something, if you need a face mask for the basketball game
I know,
or anything
right?
else, you've got it right there with UVA.
And looking for some new UVA earrings for all the ladies coming up for the
nice.
games. Yeah.
Nice, love it. Carey, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you so
coming
much.
on
Thank you. I
today.
appreciate you having me.
Very
Such a pleasure.
instructional.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah,
Thanks
very
very
much.
much.
I love the passion. I love the inspiration.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So as we do our little swapperoo.
Absolutely,
of
yeah,
guests here.
That
Thank you.
was interesting. I mean, you not only did we learn about Carey's products, right, and what she does and the passion, but how Etsy works, and it's fantastic because who knows how many, entrepreneurs out there have ideas and would like to say, I need to get this out there, but how do I do this? And it's just too much work. I don't have the time, or I can't go through this. But the idea that you can just go onto Etsy and begin to really promote what you do, that's fantastic. Right?
Exactly. Sharon Cavender, thanks for watching the show. She's saying hi, listening from Charleston, West Virginia.
Wow.
So we got West Virginia, we got different places in Virginia. Okay, we haven't done international yet today, but we did last week, so we will soon. But I just love the passion of our entrepreneurs that come on, just the inspiration. They have the great advice that they have. It's amazing to really. I love the idea of telling people, you can do this. It's not like, yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of ingenuity, thinking, okay, do I want a website? Do I Etsy shop is the way to go? But you can do it.
Yeah. And to be able to share ideas. I mean, sometimes people's like, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, right? As opposed to, no, I'm going to share my ideas and share how I became successful, or how I became an entrepreneur, or how I sell my products. That's great.
Exactly. So from one fantastic entrepreneur to another,
one.
We're really excited to welcome to the show Krissy Muniz from Good Times Only VA. Krissy, thanks for coming on today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Very excited to be here.
Now, is
VA Virginia, or is it Veterans Association?
The company itself is just Good Times Only. I added the VA for the website and the handles for social media just because the other ones were taken.
I got you.
There you go. So
yeah,
Good
but yeah, it
Times
is a local business, so it stands for Virginia.
Figured. I figured it was a good guess there. So tell us a little bit about how you started Good Times Only and what did you do?
So it's very new. I started it about 5 months ago.
Wow.
It's a silent disco company, and my first silent disco was back in 2015 at a music festival. So music festivals will often use silent discos as an alternative activity. If people don't want to watch the performance that's on the stage, they can go to silent disco, and you'll have multiple music going on there that you can listen to. Also, at night, the people that want to go to sleep can go do that. It's usually camping. And they'll have silent disco at night, so the people that want to keep partying can keep partying without disturbing the people that want to go to sleep. So this summer, I brought my boyfriend to his first music festival with the silent disco, and he's a very business brain man. He's a small business owner himself, and he kind of got it in my mind to maybe start a silent disco. So we spent the whole drive home just brainstorming it, and then when we got home, I was Googling some market research, how much the investment would be, what my competitors are, is there a market here in Charlottesville, and I just decided to go for it. And here we are, 5 months later, got some gigs lined up, and we're excited to get some more in the books.
Terrific.
Awesome.
Wow.
So tell us a little bit about how it works. I'm curious.
Yeah,
I'm very curious how to wrap my head around how silent disco works.
Yeah, so the silent disco traditionally is used with music. You'll have headphones. I'll just show you. These are our headphones, and there'll be 3 different stations. You have the red station, the green station, and the blue station, and each station is a different music. So you can tailor your different stations to the group of people that you're entertaining. You could also use it for a movie or football game or any auditory sources that you have.
Interesting.
So notice, if you want to watch a movie and you just don't want to disturb anybody else, with the sound, you can just put this on and watch the movie, and you'll hear that through your headset.
Exactly.
So like Lord of the Rings, where it's nice and loud, you can just like put it on blasting, and
it's like personalized surround sound.
Wow.
And you could adjust the volume too. So people want it louder or lower. My least favorite thing about partying is when you go home and your ears are ringing.
Yes.
With this, you don't have that.
Wow.
That's fantastic. So, and you should do it in a group. So let's say you have a group. Does everyone put one on and they can be like all dancing to the same music?
Different music.
Different music.
With the colors, you'll see who's on your channel, so you can kind of like say, we're doing the same thing, or you can do completely different channels with the person in front of you, and you're still having your good times.
That'd be interesting,
That's
right?
Awesome. That's awesome. So, no, are we going to do? I think we have a little surprise.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Do a little demonstration here.
I don't have to dance or sing, do I?
Not today.
Oh, you're required.
Not today. Good. Required.
Thank you. This is alrighty.
are not seeing know what's going on.
Okay, so if you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, Xavier and I are putting on some of these silent disco headphones.
Very colorful.
And so it's very colorful. We're on the blue channel right now. And so, and we are
Is your
listening.
volume up?
Boom, here.
And so we're all hearing the same tune, I think.
Yes, right now we're all on the blue channel, which we got some Justin Bieber going on.
Well, Justin Bieber.
And then if you want to switch your channel, you got some Despacito going on.
Oh, so which is the channel switcher?
The one on the side. You kind of just got to feel for it.
Let's see.
It is labeled.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see it. The change one. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, look at that.
And if you want to adjust the volume, they get pretty loud, so you end up in your own little world.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, Xavier.
We got a little Latino music going on
This is
here.
better. This is better than the blue.
You
I like
the
red.
better. I knew you would.
So you can get really caught up in these.
That's really
and like an
neat.
hour will go by and you're like, whoa.
What way did the time go? Oh,
This is
that's
good.
neat. That's neat. And so I love the fact
And
that
I can
the
put it
color-
louder, too.
Yeah, you can go really loud.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that the whole rest of the interview while Xavier never leaves.
Absolutely. I'll see you
never
guys
leaves
later.
Latino music. I'd see you later, guys.
And that's another benefit is that you can be partying but have a conversation because there's no
Yes.
loudspeakers to scream
that's
over.
true, because you can still hear the people speaking and you can enjoy the music at the same time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're having an event next Saturday where obviously it'll be a dance party, but we're also going to have some board games and make it like a game night dance party with the community.
I
So
like
there's
that. That's a good
Just
idea.
good times.
Yeah, and the
What's
clever
on green?
thing, I think, is also the color, because that's how you identify who's on something with you. That you should go from red to green to blue.
Green's kind of quiet.
Right? Yeah, I didn't bring the third
Oh, okay.
transmitter today, but basically
I
it
thought it
was
was like silent classical music. I said, this is
It's
one
like
of those.
it's that piece on the piano that
It's
called
probably just
silence
playing
and-
static.
and nothing goes. So that's
Yeah,
neat.
that's-
So could you even do? I guess you could even. What are some of the things that people will use this for? I'm curious. At private events.
Yeah, so at a private event, you could have, if you're doing a dinner or whatever, but on the side you want to have a little dance party or a movie going or just a secondary activity to offer to your guests. This is the type of thing to use.
Oh, that makes sense. I could even imagine. Maybe this is too out there, but I could even imagine at like a wedding. Like if you if you like me and you hate when the DJ guy goes super
Just full
loud at a
blast,
wedding,
yeah.
so I can't have a conversation, you'd say, all right, anyone who wants to go to the dance floor, put on this. DJ guy can put whatever he wants as loud as he wants, and you can do that, and everyone else is sitting down can just talk.
And it's great for the children tend to like it a lot. These are adjustable so that it fits all head sizes pretty much. And if at a wedding or anything you don't want to give the kids something to do, just put on the kids channel and they'll keep themselves busy.
Terrific
that
idea.
could be very clever.
And so you can basically have 3 different sources of music or whatever it is.
If you are having an event and you want to do a movie on one channel, dance party on the other, and then I don't know, whatever on the third channel, there's any combinations of things you could do.
That is neat. So you can even work that if they have a movie going on somewhere, you can hook it up such that they can be hearing the audio for that movie through the transmitter, through the speed, through the
Yeah, they
headphones.
can get connected to phones, laptops, TVs, DJ mixers.
Wow. That's
You
incredible.
can go late night for sound ordinance places.
Late night.
Town hall with them on.
Exactly. There's no noise complaints for this.
I was
Oh,
just
so
going to
you
say, that's right, for those ordinances where it's like, after a certain hour, you can have like some,
So
it's 10
Really?
o'clock,
So
wow.
downtown mall is a 10 o'clock sound ordinance. So Jerry's saying like you could do an event there.
That's really
where you
why
have
we got
service.
started, because we love to dance. My boyfriend and I love to dance, and there's not that many opportunities in Charlottesville for dancing, especially late night. So we thought, let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So where are some of the places that you have done this so far?
Again, we're very new. So our first event and our only event so far was at the Stonefield Plaza. We did an event with the Boys and Girls Club. They had a Valentine's party / STEM. They had like science experiments for the kids to do in one side of the room, and the other side of the room was a dance party. And again, it wasn't super loud, so they were able to do that activity while having the option to dance and party.
That's fantastic. So first event, but I don't think the last. I
Not
think
at
there's
all.
going to be many, many more.
So it's the first one, right?
There's always the
Without
first
the first one, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
Once that's done, you're good to go.
That does sound like a blast. So I mean, that's fantastic that you decided to follow this passion and go for. What are some of the early challenges of being an entrepreneur? I'm curious.
I think the biggest one was just changing my mindset. I've been in this box and I've been told to save money, and now I just took the leap and had to invest into the high quality equipment. Usually I just bought AirPods. I always had like the cheap, wireless headphone, $20 headphones. But for this company, I really wanted it to be good and quality, so I had to invest and trust. And with the support of my family and friends, like that, it wasn't as hard as you would think.
Absolutely.
So how many headsets do you need, right, for it? I mean, it depends, I guess, the size of the party.
Exactly.
But as you grow, I would assume you'll need more.
Yes, I do plan on getting some more probably this summer, depending on how things go.
Right.
I think in the summer things just always open up in the summer. People are more wanting to go out.
Yeah.
But right now we have just over 100 headphones, so a good sized party.
Wow.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
good.
hard.
That's pretty good.
We also have lighting and effects. So we have it's a haze machine. It's similar to a fog machine, but less intense. It's more for the lighting to have water particles in the air. The lighting can cut through, and you see the beams rather than just seeing the light on the wall. You see from the light machine all the way to the wall. There's a whole beam, and it gets like a laser effect. So I think setting the scene is important to creating a really fun disco environment.
Absolutely. Oh, that's neat. So when you do these events, so it's not just sound and dancing, but there's also like a lot. So you did have an actual disco with the lights going everywhere, but everyone's wearing headphones.
Exactly.
You know what I like about this? Because in reality, we all have, certainly we all grew up at different times, right? So, I mean, for us, dancing, for like your mother and I, probably the 60s and 70s are the music that we enjoy dancing to because it's what we grew up with, right? So if you go to a party and they're doing, 90s music, we're sitting there going, I feel it, but I really didn't even know how to, dance to this stuff, right? But if you can put yours and somebody else, it doesn't really matter because you're just kind of moving, right? I mean, at least I'm just moving, right?
Well, plus, like you said, you can, like Krissy was saying, you can see the lights, so
Yeah.
you can tell who's dancing on
That's
the
right,
same.
exactly. So you go over there and that's right.
You can have one group dancing to one set of songs.
Absolutely.
Another group dancing to another. You alone dancing to a Latino music, since you have your own rhythm no matter what. So you can be there
Maybe
by
we could
yourself.
give Nicky the waltz and can dance by himself with the waltz, yeah.
Exactly. That's fantastic. Oh, we got some more people. Elizabeth LaMarche watching the show today. So I mean, that's awesome.
No, this is a great
This is
idea.
a great
I was
idea.
trying to figure out what is silent disco. I mean, it's like if it's silent, it can't be too exciting. It's like,
Yeah, that's one of the challenges that we're facing is
Sort of-
it's one of those things you kind of have to experience.
of course, yes,
And
yeah.
I can tell you it's really fun, but you're not going to believe me until you're there and you're feeling it and you're
That's right.
seeing
and
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do have a video up. You have some
Yes.
videos that you can check out on your
Yes.
Facebook page that'll just sort of give you a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for my boyfriend. His company is more marketing, media, content creation, and he has all the equipment and the skills to create beautiful content, which is essential in this day. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a necessity these days, right?
It is.
The
It is.
content and the nicer the content is and the more professional it looks, the better. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's great. That's
Well, the
great.
beauty is you have something here that fits just all those sensory profiles. You have
Yeah.
the sound, the movement when you're dancing, the visuals, the sort of social aspect, because you're connecting to people who you know are listening to the same music as you.
exactly.
So it has a good combination.
That reminded me, I definitely want to mention, we are starting up a program for the summer. It's a networking kind of program. We're trying to produce a happy hour silent disco business mixer program. So we are looking for bars and restaurants that want to host these events. And we're reaching out to local businesses to see if they want to provide their employees with a happy hour activity, as well as networking with other local businesses. It's a great way to get people together, have fun. Bars will make money, They'll have fun.
Yes.
I'll make some money. I think it's a
Absolutely.
win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Chamber of Commerce, Regional Chamber of Commerce, so if you are listening, watching our show, I think this is a great idea for like a Let's Connect. This is
That's
a
right.
fantastic. This is
That would be a
chamber-
great idea.
That would be a great idea. You get
Yeah.
you do it outdoors. You get a bunch of chamber members together. Get Krissy to hire
yeah.
Krissy and say, hey, you know what? Put them all out there and start doing a silent disco.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there are even ways that you can get like a headset connected and have a speaker doing a presentation on a channel.
Oh, also good. Yes, also very clever.
Yeah, because I remember that one time, I think it was the United Way, they had the, at X Park, remember?
Yes, and it's
And it was a little hard to hear Ravi because there was a lot of noise going. If you had that on, then you could hear everything she was
Yes,
saying.
you could hear a
That's a
speaker
great
at a
idea.
large event, and even people in the far back
Exactly.
can hear just as well as if
That's
you were in
right,
front.
exactly.
Because you're all on a headphone.
Yeah.
Very clever. Yeah. So I mean, so where can businesses, if they want to do this, reach out to you?
My website is goodtimesonlyva.com, and then we also have a Facebook and an Instagram, Good Times Only VA.
Fantastic. Oh yes. I mean, businesses definitely got to reach out. Chamber of Commerce got to connect. We'll tag Chamber of Commerce here.
Oh, you should.
This way
You
they,
should.
They
Yeah.
can know that this is.
And I agree.
A
I
cool
mean,
option.
you know, for bars and even restaurants, right, to have this happy hour to be able to just, you know, on the side have a little like a dance event or dance floor. Because that's one of the things I'm missing.
Distro night, and you're like, hey, distro night.
Yeah. Well,
Happy
one of
hour.
the things that I always say when I was growing up, there were still quite a few number of restaurants and places where you could go eat and dance, right? And it was kind of nice. You ate a little bit, you dance. You ate a little, you dance, right? And I mean, maybe I don't know of any place here, right? But if you can do that, you can find in a way where it doesn't disturb some people's like, oh, I gotta go listen to this music. No, you're not listening to music, but people are through their headset and dancing. They come back and they continue with their meal. I think it's a great idea.
It is. It is. Yeah, so people definitely need to reach out to you. So goodtimesonlyva.com, as well as Good Times Only VA on Facebook and also Instagram.
Correct.
Yes.
And Facebook, Instagram, and Nick will be tagged in it, so you can click it on the comment feed here and go check it out for sure.
Awesome.
Krissy, thanks so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much. That was a lot of
This
fun.
was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I really love the interactive thing, love the quality, and so I think this is
Love that
gonna
red
really-
channel. That red. I
that
like
red channel,
That red
we're
channel
really
was
into
good.
that one.
In case everybody's listening,
Awesome.
it's the red channel you want to listen.
It's the red channel.
You gotta try them all.
Exactly. Got to try them all, and you can. So thanks so much for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank
you so
both. I'll
much.
see you on the dance floor.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, and so
That was
yeah.
good.
Oh,
That gets you moving, right?
It does get you moving.
Yeah.
You to really feel well. We
should've
had a
stood up.
comment. We have a comment from
Uh-oh.
Elizabeth Lamarche who says, "Alex is dancing. We want to see Xavier dance."
Well, she will soon, believe me.
Oh, she will soon. That's true. Out of anybody,
That's right.
she probably will soon.
No, I'm not shy about dancing.
No,
It's everybody else around me saying, "What's he doing again?"
That's the difference. That's what the challenge is. Everyone
That's
else
right.
says, "What is he doing?" He's dancing to his own rhythm, as we
love it,
say,
yeah.
to his own rhythm. But that is two fantastic ideas.
Terrific
today.
ideas,
I
yes.
love the creativity. That don't you thinking of new ways to do things, right? New creations. I mean, I'm very curious to see what Carey comes up with. I mean, just her new ideas with the earrings. I'm sure that's going to be fantastic.
You know, I always say that. In other words, because I have a kind of left-sided brain, my right side, the creative side of me just is kind of very, very small and weak. So I admire people that have it because I look, and I mean, your mother's like that, right? I mean, my wife, she's like that, right? I mean, sometimes she's putting things together. It's like, what is she doing? And then all of a sudden it's finished. It's like, wow, that's really nice. I mean, I was just never thought of doing that. I mean, it didn't even come across my head how to even put it together. So when I see people that have that type of creativity, right,
and finding
that's amazing.
great niches, things that other people haven't thought of. I mean, I've never heard of silent disco in our area, but I can just see how many people would enjoy
Yeah.
that. It fits a niche that is there, and like you can see the need and how people really in this community would enjoy something like this.
Absolutely.
Right, and it takes that entrepreneur like Krissy to say, hey, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take that chance and take that risk and put the investment in what I can do to achieve that.
No, I agree 100%. And like even like sports bars, right? You go in and there's 10 things going on, right?
Yes, you
but I really
actually
just want to
listening.
see the UVA basketball game or the Yankee baseball game or whatever it may be,
Yes.
right? But it's like I can't. But it'd be great to be able to say, boy, I can still have a beer, chat with guys, and listen to the UVA
Exactly.
basketball game.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is
Fantastic
great.
idea.
Yeah.
This has been
Yeah.
great. You can't beat just the power of entrepreneurship. And I think, Krissy, you got a fan. So Gwendolyn Dale Cassidy says, Champion is always looking for things like this, looking to finding some breweries that are open. So
Champion Brewer.
Say that?
She's in Holland right now.
She's in Holland, so we are international again.
International, there you
so
are.
Thank you,
We reached
Gwendolyn
Holland.
from Holland, watching from Holland, saying Champion Brewery is always looking for things
Yeah.
like this. See, that's the beauty. That's what I love. Another
connects,
thing I
yeah,
love
connection.
about making the connections.
Yeah.
Making the connections on Today Mañana.
It's all about networking, advertising, telling people what you do. Because if you don't tell anybody what you do, you may be the greatest creator in the world, but nobody knows about it. So
Exactly.
you have to go out there. You know,
That's fantastic. Love it. Love it.
like the Duesenberg. I was told the story of the Duesenberg.
Duesenberg?
See, you don't even know.
I don't know that
They
story.
say it's the greatest car ever created, but the guy didn't market, so
Oh.
never took off. You know.
Well, fortunately, I think we've got some entrepreneurs today that are good at marketing. They know
Absolutely.
what they do,
Yeah.
and they know how to
They certainly
talk about and the passion comes through for what they do, which I think is
Well, we
the
live in a
number one
different
thing.
world today. I mean, the internet. I mean, you come up with something, and like
So
a
many
million people can
opportunities.
find out about it really quickly. In the old days, it was a little tougher.
It was a little tougher. You
The
had to
Pony
really,
Express didn't reach as many people.
The Pony Express. Oh, goodness. So, I mean, I know we have our last little segment of the show here where for a couple minutes.
Well, bonds are up. Did you
Bonds
know
are
that?
up, I know.
I mean, everybody should be
It's like,
excited.
hallelujah.
I mean, I know everybody always talks about stocks and stocks. I mean, those stocks are boring. I mean, it's just, who wants a stock? You
Well,
want
it's
bonds.
important to emphasize that sometimes. 'Cause I think whenever we talk finance on the show, probably the number one series of questions that we get has to do with stocks.
Yeah.
Because stocks are exciting, stocks go up 100%, this company's doing that, you could buy a share of this awesome new company. No one really ever asks about bonds.
True.
And yet, I feel like bonds are they actually are a very important part of people's portfolios. And then especially the older you get, the more important they can be. But I think sometimes it's just harder for people to wrap their head around bonds.
Well, one thing to realize is the bond market is the biggest market, the U.S. bond market in the world.
In the world.
Right? So it's not like there's just a couple,
And
right?
it dwarfs the stock market. Think about it. The stock market
Yeah.
is open every day from 9:30 a.m. Eastern time
Right.
to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. The bond market never closes.
Never closes.
It
As
is
long as
open
it's a trader,
24
it's open.
hours a
That's what they
day,
say.
7 days a week.
Exactly.
It never closes.
Never closes. That's right. And the issue is that bonds are just not just government bonds or agency bonds or corporate bonds. There's high yield bonds, and high yield bonds are bonds of small companies, right? And sometimes those particular securities generate an enormous amount of return and yield. So, and again, I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's diversifying, but you really need to stay on top of just about all the markets and see how they relate to each other. And typically, in the old days, right? Well, historically, when stocks went up, sometimes bonds were down, and vice versa. So it was a great way to hedge your portfolio from just being in one
some
particular
protection.
sector. Protection, exactly. Yeah, it was a way to create a risk balance situation where you didn't have all your eggs in one basket. Even if you diversified stocks, you still had some bonds where the stock market would crash. You still have bonds which would protect your investment and then give you the opportunity to reinvest in stocks when they were down, right? So again, all that is important. And today, without any doubt, with the fact that the Federal Reserve is going to raise rates, and I don't think there's any doubt about the fact that they will. The question is exactly when, how much they're going to raise. Are they going to do a 25 basis point raise in March, a 50 basis point? Are they going to shock the world, do a 1%? Are they just going to do it more often? These are the unknowns, right? And the unknowns is what markets don't like.
Exactly.
Second of all, the thing about bonds is that if something happens internationally with respect to especially war style of events, bonds go through the roof, meaning they do very, very well because everybody rushes to safety. And the biggest safety in the whole planet is U.S. government bonds. And that's really what we saw this morning once the news came out that, maybe Russia and Ukraine is an issue, boom.
Someday
the treasury.
bonds
Exactly.
become
So again,
significant again.
you want that. You want that protection. And you want the protection, you want the cash flow, and it's important to make sure that when you create a portfolio, you think about every aspect of your investments.
Exactly. It's all significant. And to understand a little bit how it works. Because I think people intuitively understand stocks, you own a piece of a company. And just to realize a bond is essentially a company is borrowing money from you.
That's right.
And promising to pay you back.
Yeah.
And
it's on top of the tier. In other words, think about a company's liability, right? Mm-hmm. It's whatever they borrow from the bank, then whatever they borrow from public, which means bonds.
Who is the investor.
Exactly, who's the investor, and then stocks. So when a company goes belly up, right, you're on the top of the list. I mean, if you're a stockholder and the company goes belly up, but they have X amount of cash, it's not going to you, it's going first to the bank and then to the bondholder. So just maybe, right, you will get paid some of your money back. In a stock, it's zero, right? So again, there's priorities and there's reasons to diverse from just stocks. You know?
Exactly. It's all about thinking. In some ways, you have to be creative with your portfolio too. Not too creative, but it's just thinking of different ways to structure your portfolio, different things you can use. Because we all know, I think people know, like, okay, you want a bunch of different stocks. But I think sometimes it's harder to go beyond that and say, do I want other asset classes? Do I want bonds in there because of the fact that they move differently? And do I want some currencies in there, depending on the safety of the currency, obviously.
Right.
You have to add some insane risk to your portfolio. But do I want other things in there that move differently so that no matter what happens, I can have a sort of steady portfolio?
Correct, yeah. And commodities, I mean, so,
Commodities,
and it's a function of what percent of my portfolio do I want in this particular asset class. And of course, without any doubt, stocks is usually the largest one, and in there, you want to diversify. You may say, I like 10 stocks, but all 10 stocks are tech stocks. Then you're at risk. You may do very well one year, and the next year you find yourself that you're down 20%, right? So even there, you want to make sure you diversify into good value stocks, growth stocks, small cap stocks, meaning you have the gamut of the U.S. stock market, and sometimes some will do better than others, and sometimes they all do well, right? So
exactly. It's about, like we always say, it's the percentages. You want to have access to everything. You want a little piece of everything in your portfolio. The question is, what combination of percentages do you use that fits your risk?
That's right.
Is really the key that you have to be looking at.
And the goals, right?
I mean,
we have, again, we have folks that are retired and they come to us and say, I just need income, right? And so in the old days, you went to the bond market and you found income, right? The bond market right now isn't providing the kind of income that some people need in order to be able to survive on a monthly basis. So you have to look out into the stock market, and there are vehicles out there that generate an enormous amount of good income and yield, and you just have to be cognizant of the fact that that's available, and you have to create a portfolio that has a little bit of everything and generates that kind of return. So again, there's a little bit.
There's many options out there.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. It's like an entrepreneur. You got to know what your goals are. If you know what your goals are, then you can create a portfolio to meet those goals. Yeah.
Exactly. Shout out Lee Elberson watching the show today. Says keep up the great work. Thank you, Lee, and for watching. Always appreciate another great entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Here in Charlottesville. Yeah. Always helping other entrepreneurs as well through CIC. So fantastic. No, this has been.
This was exciting. Good show. Yeah,
I had a good time.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
I love the interactive, for sure. Definitely liked the Red Channel was killing it.
That was good. Yeah, it really was.
Tell the moment you switched, I'm like, okay. Here we go.
You just feel it. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's one thing about Latin America, Cuban music. It's got the rhythm. I mean, you feel it immediately, right? I mean, at least I do. Exactly. I mean, it's in your blood.
I'm hoping all our guests, Nick's like, what do you say? You do.
But it's true. It's just like it makes you want to move.
It makes you want to dance.
Yeah,
it does make you want to dance. Hopefully all our audience feels that way when they. The intro music to Today Mañana comes on and they start.
Absolutely. The first time I heard it, I said, this is great. I don't know who chose it. Probably I assume it's Jerry and Judah, but it was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah. They took a look at me and said, that's the one.
That's the one. That's the music. That's the music. Oh, thanks to William Clark for sharing the show today. I love the audience. I love our guests. It's fantastic.
Audience is great.
The audience
It's
is great. Really, thanks for the comments, for liking and sharing today, for letting us know what you think, for being interactive, sharing some ideas for our entrepreneurs. And Nick has tagged, thanks to Nick has tagged Charlottesville Chamber of Commerce to let them know, hey, you got to check out.
He's working. I like that. He's working.
He is working.
Yeah.
He is working. So fantastic.
I like when Nick works.
It pleases you very much.
Pleases me extremely.
It pleases you greatly. Brings a smile to your face. Now, Nick is a good CMO.
Yes, and a good
Emergent
CFP
Financial Services,
too.
and a good CFP
Yeah.
too. Thanks. Thank you always for
Well, thank
coming
you.
and sharing the stage,
Listen,
the spotlight with me.
and I mean it. You make this really easy for me because I don't have to sit there and think about the intro, and you got it down packed. I'm Alex.
I try.
This is Xavier. I got that part. After that, I'm
I
lost.
memorized that. That's a big accomplishment.
See,
to
that's something I can
memorize.
memorize. After that, that's where I get lost. It's like, I'm not
You get
doing
lost.
this. Are you crazy? Have to memorize this?
Hey, it's hard not to know I'm Alex. This is
Well, I shouldn't be just looking at me. You know exactly. I don't want to be that.
Oh no. We won't-
I do.
We won't repeat that comment. Nick back here. But I always appreciate you, our audience, for joining us. Love being on the I Love CVille Network. Love having
Definitely.
Judah behind the camera, making everything smooth and beautiful.
Talk about making it easy.
Talk about making it
They're
easy,
making
I
it
know.
easy on all of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Really appreciate our presenter, Emergent Financial Services. Appreciate the fact that we are powered, as always, by the Jim CVille, joining us this week, by Miguel at Sirius Craddock Insurance, Castle Hill Cidery, GBS Financial Services, Aqua CVille Hand Car Wash. Talking about someone who also always has great entrepreneur advice.
Absolutely.
Jeff
Yeah.
from Aqua
Yeah.
CVille always telling us, hey, you know what? Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid to make the mistakes. You grow, you become better. You learn how to approach mistakes. So just fantastic
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Inspiration, of course, by Vitae Spirits, who Ian, so glad he joined us last week.
Me
with
too.
that champion collab. Speaking of champion, the champion
right.
collaboration that he
Exactly,
did there. So
exactly.
Who knows? Maybe we could have a good times only distro party at Champion with some champion collab from Vitae Spirits there. Put it all together.
Wonderful.
But always appreciate our partners.
Next week? Anybody coming next week?
Next week's
Or
going to be
is this
fantastic
a
as well.
surprise?
No, we've got three great guests next week.
Wow.
So Matthias John from Wiley Properties going to be joining
Okay.
us, followed by Robin Don from Castle Hill Cider are returning to Today Mañana. That was always a blast. That was a blast
It
when
was,
they came on.
it was.
So Rob and Don are going to come back, join us, tell us what's new. We'll see what's up there, what you can enjoy this spring from Castle Hill Cidery. So I'm very excited for that as well.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a
Wonderful.
fantastic show next week too. Just
Looking forward to it.
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to spending some more time. As always, let us know. Any entrepreneurs you know, share it with us. Like the show. Tell your friends about it. Ask any questions to Xavier and me. Tell us any comments. We're always checking up on it. And be sure to check us out next week for more great guests. And we really enjoy just spending time with you, the audience, on this morning. So have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Thursday. But until then, hasta mañana.